Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. As you can see here, well, if you're unfamiliar, this is where the relativity research is. Yeah, feels like it's been a minute since I did a relativity video, but so much shit going on. There's really not that many researchers. I feel like with some other ships, or at least when they started, let's say maybe with the Stella, which got its own research tree, it was kind of a lot. Now, there's more ships, but let's say less research per ship. So, it's kind of nice. Makes it a little easier to deal with. Starting out, what starts the research tree for the relativity, it is relativity, right? Too many ships and anymore to keep them all straight sometimes. Starts with a warp range. A lot of them are actually kind of start like that. You can see Vindicator starts like that. Monavine starts like that. What is this? Is this Titan A? Or I guess Titan A ends that way. Yeah, Titan and Cerritos actually end that way. However, where the hell was I at? Then you have regarding the Kretum invading entities. You have one for loot, one for damage. Meh. Tough to say, I guess. Maybe for me and my level, it's just there'd be so many tiers until my relativity means anything to me as far as going after the invading entities. But whatever, it's there. You have a cargo capacity one, which I guess we need. Does any of these cards go into the cargo bay? I don't know. I feel like I barely engage with this loot, but however. You have these four here outlined in gold. No, they're not primes. You know, they look like primes. Why they're this way, I don't know. I guess so it's not attached to, let's say, previous researchers. You can see it's kind of like connected dots in here. You got one, and they're all for relativity versus the formation armadas, which doesn't seem to make sense to me. It seems like you would need to research for the invading entities since this thing was made for the formation armadas. Whatever. Or maybe, just make it for Kretum shit so it can apply to the invading entities. That would kind of be nice. Help some of us out. Maybe some of you folks out there that have your relativity near your level, it doesn't affect you. It affects people like me. You got a shield mitigation one or shield absorption. Yeah, extra 10%. Alright, cool. That's fine. Shield repair, more shields, and isolytic damage. Sure. Sounds useful. Then you have the formation loot, the formation damage, which whatever was it, the ship ability did that for you. So why do you need more? Okay. I mean, in the building, right? The building and there's a favor as well. What did we need another research for? That's odd. It's odd. But however, invading entity apex barrier. You increase apex barrier. Increase the apex barrier on all ships. On all ships when fighting Kretum invading entities. Does not apply with Tau on the bridge. So that is for everything. You don't need the relativity. Which the downside of these damage here. Oh, never mind. I guess I should click on these and read these, right? Maybe is that what the ones in the gold are for? Okay, that's what the ones in gold are for. The ones in gold specifically are for the relativity. You see how much I pay attention to this part of the research tree. All this shield repair and isolytic damage that is specifically for the relativity when fighting the formation. The loot here for the invading entities increase static and charged temporal wreckage when or from on. You know what? Just as soon as I say that, like, oh, it only deals for this or that or the relativity when you're using a relativity. Here's this one that says, oh, when you're using a relativity. Well, then what the hell is the point to some of this shit? Why they got to go back and forth between, oh, this research counts only if you're using a relativity. This one doesn't. This one does. This one doesn't. It's very confusing. That's why you click on the thing and you read it. Don't assume shit. Invading entity loot only applies when you're using the relativity. The invading entity damage does not. Why? I don't know. I really don't. It's weird though. It's weird. Increase temporal wreckage. Only the temporal wreckage. I don't remember how many stupid ass currencies. There's too many stupid ass currencies in another stupid ass tiger loop. Who the fuck did this in Tiger's image? Temporal wreckage from Credum formation armadas with the USS Relativity. So gotta use a relativity there. Increase base damage against Credum formation armadas. Nothing about the relativity there. I don't get that. I don't get that. Why can't they all be like that then? Why can't they all be... Just to mess with you. Just to mess with you. Oh, and I haven't even gotten to the other point. Just to mess with us. Apex barrier. Yeah, see, the apex barrier doesn't matter. You just get it when you fight the invading entities. Which is cool. I mean, it starts at 500, goes up to 8,000. Kind of a lot of apex barrier. Especially for something that's older than apex shred and therefore has no apex shred. Okay. Temporal hull health just increases your hull health of all your ships. Starts at 100, gets up to 1500%, which... And it's the same for the shields, which... It's nice. Though, weirdly enough, it's not that much nowadays. Because how many other researches or artifacts or fleet commanders or researches or favors or anything else I forgot also boost your hull and your shields up to like 1,000%. Yeah, kind of a lot of them. Weird, ain't it? Check out some of the currencies. If you notice some of the currencies, yeah, that's right, I said currencies when I'm talking about researches. Wonderful, isn't it? There is charged tachyons, and then we'll see if I can find them, and then static tachyons. I wonder if that's the thing. Static tachyons down there. Oh, there's static tachyons there. So I was going to say, maybe it was, the static ones are for universal bonuses and the charged ones are for relativity bonuses. Well, no, here you go. Okay. Every other column. Right? Is that what that... Nope. It's not even every other column. They changed it there. They pulled a fast one on me. Whew. Anybody excited to get through this tree yet? Oh, that's right. I do have two available researches or research slots right now. I'm trying to decide which one of these things I want to do. How annoying it is. It's tough to say. You would have to depend on where you're at. I feel like if you are at a lower level, your relativity is going to be more relative to your Credum grind. For some of us high-level people, my board cube is 12 billion and my relativity is what? 100 million. Which ship do you think I'm going to use? Not the one that, it's the board cube. 12 billion. It has all the power right there. I don't care. I don't want any of these researches that say specifically for the relativity because I ain't going to use a dumb thing. Everybody else out there, and maybe that is some of the good point or good part of why these are in gold. I don't have to do them. I won't be bogged down by not doing these. Hopefully, anyway. Because otherwise, why are they separated from the connected dot things in here? Who knows? I don't have to do that, which is good. I do want the loot shit, but at the same time, it's just for the relativity, so I don't care. At the same time, maybe I care about the formation one, because maybe I'll send 2 ships in, maybe just to make sure I get a ship in, or I don't know what other people are sending. I don't like putting in 2 ships into the formation armada, because then some people just don't get in there, which is stupid, but it is what it is sometimes. Sometimes it is better to bring 2 ships along just to make sure you are there and ready to move from one circle to another or what have you. But hopefully, try not to take spot from somebody that didn't get a spot 1 out of the 15 spots. Or did they increase the spots in these formation armadas? They're sort of like 4, which is stupid. Why not upgrade the Armada Control Center, put some more levels on that thing, and then we can have more slots in the solo armadas, more slots in the formation armadas. You get more of your people involved. Because to a certain extent, some of that shit really isn't about the currency. It's about, the boxes. At least with the OG formation armadas. But what do I know? Apparently I don't know shit. It's fine. But I do kind of want to get down to these. So you got to follow the chain. So I'll do this one. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I feel like this one has to be higher for everybody, the formation loot, because there is an extra claim there and get you more of the credits, the charged and the static credits for the faction store. Because you have the claim, the turn in for the invading entities, and then a separate one for the formation armadas, or formation and whatever the fuck they call these dumb things. Very confusing sometimes. So that can allow you to get more, and since we got them to roll back all those changes, or at least most of those changes, sooner that you'll get some of these officers maxed. Excuse me. Which is a fantastic thing. You love that they rolled back those changes and no more day-long cooldown on those officers. The artifacts, yeah, sadly, I guess, once you get to level 8, you're done. But before you get to level 8, you're supposed to be able to pull that as much as you feel like, as long as you have the credits, which is good. So more credits is more credits. So I'll do this one. Beyond that, there's not that much here, which, again, for me. Now, for you all out there, if you're going to use your relativity a lot, it's kind of a tough one, especially with this shield mitigation one here. It looks like it's nice. Of course, to a certain extent, they're actually only 1 level, and they're really cheap. Interesting. I think I realized how cheap they were. How they're only 1 level. That's weird. That is weird. What is... Yeah, looking at them and how cheap they are. 10. 10, that's it. I think you get 250 a day. I'm only at tier 1. That's weird. I think that's weird. I guess I probably should just do those, right? Since they're very inexpensive. It'd be one thing if they were expensive. They're not. Which, again, is very weird. It almost makes you wonder why the hell they exist in the first place. If they're so cheap. And so quick. Done. Look at that. Done. Didn't cost me anything. How weird is that? It's odd. I guess I feel like you only deserve these if you have the relativity. But didn't necessarily want you to feel like you could never purchase them. Instead of making them ship abilities, they made them researchers? Sure, I guess. Sounds like a thing. I still don't understand this cargo. Does any of that shit go to the cargo bay? When you're fighting the formation armadas, does that... Whatever the hell thing... what is the... temporal wreckage. Does the temporal wreckage go to your cargo bay? I feel like some armadas and some formation armadas... Some armadas it did. what, like the Monavine jackass shit. But I think everything else, the Stella shit did as well, didn't it? Right, but the regular faction armadas did not. Bajorans did not. The Borg didn't. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it does go to your cargo bay. I don't know. Of course, that'd be really stupid because that's not that much cargo capacity. So, what the hell is that even for? It's weird. I do think, from what I'm hearing from some of my alliance members, since you have various levels of players in your alliance, especially now that some of us are getting these relativities free to play, you want to do bigger armadas. Well, if you're on the lower side, you can't necessarily reach there because you ain't got the warp range. So should you maybe invest a little bit more into the warp range? Maybe. Oh, look, here's 6 seconds again. Why is this like 5 days and this is 6 seconds? What is to... What? That is so weird. I wonder if this thing is also level locked. Me being the level I am, deserve to have higher warp range so I can use my relativity on formation models around my level, but if you're a level 50, that's as far as you should go. Of course, why not just give the relativity that warp range at that tier? Okay. Okay, however, boss. Whatever, man. Make up your dumb rules. See? Level locked. Can't get there until 67. Which I'm fine with. I don't care. Well, I guess the process of elimination, there's only one. Or I guess maybe I should have finished that one. Then I could have done the Apex Barrier one. Duh. Oh well. I'll just do this one. I don't care. Seems to be going relatively quickly for me anyway. Or it's at the same time probably a little slow for some of you because level locks. Because level locks. Woohoo! But not really. Kind of annoying. But however, alright, well, let's wrap this video up. Probably longer than it really needed to be, given how short this research tree is, but whatever. So comment below, have you been fiddling with this relativity research tree a little longer than some of these free-to-play players? Do you have any recommendation on what they should target first? And which one of these researches do you actually think is going to benefit players the most? Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.